Okay, what we have here is a leaky shower sump pump. And this one is also hooked to the dishwasher, so I have to replace it with a new one. So I have to disconnect those hoses and the wires for the pump and the switch inside, and I just have to replace this thing today. So the first thing we do is we take these 4 screws out at the top, with an appropriate Phillips head screwdriver. And you save the screws. Obviously, don't let them fall into the bilge because there's water down there. It's harder to get those out of the bilge even if there wasn't water down there. These screws come up pretty easy. And I'm just setting them up here out of the way. We take this lid off and we see all this water in here. Then we gotta get rid of that water first, disconnect the electrical, and then disconnect the hoses. Okay, so you undo these wire ties for the wires. You try not to let them fall down into the bilge, and any ones that fall down there you have to go get them because they can get clogged in the bilge pump. Okay, I got the lid off of this, and I got some rubber gloves and I cleaned out the pump a little bit from some of these hairs and things, and we put them in this trash can. And then I found out that actually this switch is working. Switch is working. So I'm draining the water that way. But we need to clean this out and see if we can let it be able to last a little longer. So in order to clean this out, we got to take this screen out of here. Put that in here for now, in the trash can, and get some paper towels. And absorb from that water. Put it in that trash can. This is hard to do with one hand. With one hand with the camera in it. This is how you clean out a sump pump. It's not pretty, and it's not fun. It's kind of stinky. Talk about dirty jobs. This is a real dirty job. Plus you're in tight quarters. So after you've cleaned it out, then you turn on the shower and see if it works. So it looks like it was just some hair clogging it up. So that's what we'll do, is we'll just make sure the shower drain has a good screen on it, and put this screen back in and clean it out real good and just make sure it's working. Those kind of things get clogged in the pump. Okay, I cleaned this screen out, but it has a cut taken out of it from last time, because when I replaced this switch, this float switch, it was going to hit the screen, so I cut part of that out. And it's been working fine, but now the float sticks and it's not consistent. Plus we have a crack here, and this screen doesn't screen out everything it should, so we're going to replace it anyway. Okay, I've disconnected these wires to the pump and the switch, float switch. And we have 2 wires to connect when we have the new one. And all we have to do now is disconnect these 3 hose clamps with either a flathead screwdriver or a nut driver. Now, while I was taking off these hose clamps, I dropped my screwdriver in the bilge. So one good thing to have is this handy dandy gripper tool, and I just go down there and grab this screwdriver and bring it back up. Now I can commence loosening these hose clamps. I couldn't find my nut driver, so I'm using the big straight slotted screwdriver to loosen these hose clamps. Like I said, it's hard to do with one hand when you have a camera. And you loosen those and you push them back on the hose. This might not be enough. Just loosen this one a little bit more. Push that back out of the way. Then we can see if these come off. Okay, that one's done. That's okay to let that go in the bilge, because we have a bilge pump. We got 3 bilge pumps. That one's to the dish. This one's to the dishwasher. This one's from the shower. This is the drain to the shower, and this is the out. This pumps it out to the ocean. This one pumps it in from the dishwasher. This one drains it. Let me say that again. This one drains it from the dishwasher into here, into the reservoir. This one drains it from the shower into the reservoir, and this one pumps it out to the ocean and drains that water. Okay, so now we've got it disconnected, and we've got screws down there that we have to disconnect. I guess just on one side, there. So then we'll take that whole box out. Okay, here's the new shower drain box, and the water from the shower comes in here, and the water from the dishwasher comes in here. And this pump switch, when it fills this box up, that pump switch goes off, and this pump pumps it out the boat through this drain. So these have lines on them. These lines are for the pipe to hold, and then the hose clamps go on the inside of these lines to hold the pipe on. So we want to cut. I'm going to cut behind both of these lines so we still have that little ridge to hold the pipe and seal it better. Okay, I used the hacksaw to open this, cut these, open them up so I can use them. Now I'm gonna clean them out a little, clean up the cut with a knife here. So they're cleaner. They don't want to clog. Now this pipe is bigger. It's actually going to go around here, and I could cut this one or I could leave it this way, but some stuff could get clogged up around here, so we may want to cut this back here, this one back here, but that's difficult because of this is in the way and this is in the way. So if we have a special tool, like I will show you in a minute. So what we want to do on this pipe is cut on top here with this tool, this hacksaw, and cut on the bottom. So then I'll have a way through to cut without getting in the way of these two pieces. I'll show you how that works. Okay, what I've done is I've cut a notch here in the top, and then turn it over, and I cut another notch in this bottom, so this can go clear through now. Clear through, and then I can cut in this direction and in that direction to get my, without touching these other two ports. So what I've done is I've cut this one out behind, in front of the lip or ridge, and I've cut this one using this hacksaw. And first I cut this way, then I cut this way, and so I had a notch and I could go all the way through, and then I cut this direction, then I went through and I cut this direction. And so here's that piece that I cut, and so then it's just a matter of cleaning this out with a knife or a reamer or something, and making it relatively clean for the plastic pipe. And before you disconnect the wires, you want to go over here to this one that says sump pump, and you want to turn that off, and then you can go down, and then you can take care of that. So now we're ready. We got these pipes cut. We're ready to install this thing. So we disconnected the electrical first. Now we'll hook it up last. So we're missing, this one must have dropped off. So we got to find that hose clamp. Okay, I've got the box, the new box, securely fastened on the pad there, and the 3 hoses connected with the hose clamps, and they don't have to be super tight, just snug, hand tight. because there's no pressure, it's just drainage. Maybe a little bit of pressure, not really very much. And then all I got to do is hook up basically 2 wires to these 2 wires for the electrical, and then test it. Okay, one of the good ways to strip these wires is to use a wire stripper like this. It's like a pliers, and it's got the little gauges, and you just go about 3/8 of an inch and you take those little pieces off. Okay, now that you've got them gray to gray and black to black, strip the wires and heat shrunk the connectors, we can test it now by turning on the shower. Okay, we've got the shower turned up full blast, and we've got our sump pump all finished, all connected with the power and working, filling up and draining. Shower, dishwasher, drain. All right, praise the Lord.